Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to just come on today and discuss the why, whens, and hows of mediumship. Um, I believe most of us who are on this journey, why we have started our journey, at some point we awaken, our spirit awakens, and we begin to understand that there's so much more to life than just the matter world, the material world, working, acquiring material goods, um, 9 to 5 jobs, debt, taxes, credit, all of these things. Of course, they're all important because we're living in a material world. So we have to live a physical life and we have to survive. That's fine. But I feel at some point, and a lot of times it has to do with a serious illness that you might go through, or a loved one, one or two or three close people might pass, animals might pass. Um, Something shakes your spirit, your soul, that awakens you that love cannot die. Life cannot be destroyed. It just changes form. Energy does not cease to exist. It changes form. You cannot kill energy. That there's something within your physical form, this divine being of light that cannot exist only for the 70, 80, 90 years and then just be gone, then vanish, go into the ground or be cremated, and that's it. Then you're gone. There's something that awakens within you that you feel it's eternal, it's infinite, it's as infinite as the universe and beyond. We cannot have a spiritual awakening without moving into the depths of our soul, and this awakens us. It shifts something, that we see life through through eyes that have been opened, that we want to help people, that we want to help people that are suffering the way we were suffering when we were going through the depths of despair. We want to help them heal and move through it like we did. We're beings of compassion. We're here to help. We want to be of service. I do believe that service is what religion means, without all of these dogmatic elements that have been added to it over thousands of years. But I think we all have our own reasons why we want to do this. What do I think the good reasons are, or the reasons that God intended us to wake up? To help people, like I said, to heal people, to work with the spirit realm, to work with the unseen realms, to be in partnership with them. So we are their voice here in the physical realm. The spirit realm have no voice here without our help. We want to do good. We want to save people who are willing to be saved and move into the light, move back into the joy. And we feel all around us this creative living life force that connects us all. And we're willing to then go and start researching and learning about the mysteries of the universe and the soul and the spirit and all religions, and how all religions at the end of the day originated to help people, and that we are a part of this. We are a small link in this chain of service. And I think that's usually the reason why we do this. I think these are the good reasons why. I think there are people, certainly other people do these for other reasons. I think the wrong whys, to feed your ego, to feel spiritually superior to others, to compensate for things that maybe you haven't healed through: attention, praise. I don't really think these are the right reasons, the whys, to do it, but I really do feel why we do this is an important foundation. It sets everything up. We're doing this to help people. We're doing this because we understand how it feels to be in deep grief, um, not to feel compassion from other beings, from other people, to feel alone. And once we can start our self-healing journey and realize we are not alone ever, we have each other, we have hundreds, I've heard, of beautiful spirit beings all around us, willing to help us and willing to push us forward and pull us forward onto our path of development and unfoldment if we choose to listen. We have guides all around us that are our own spirit tribe that we've worked out that they will walk with us and help us through our physical existence. And we've worked out goals and achievements that we want to fulfill, and they will help us if we choose to listen. We have all of our loved ones around us in spirit, our pets in spirit as well, but we're never alone. And that I find to be one of the best reasons why people go onto this path, to help people realize they are not alone, that there is help available if they choose and if they can clear themselves and quiet themselves enough to hear it, to feel it, to know it. Okay. So I think why you're doing this is very important. And I really do feel the best response to why you're doing this is to help other people, to be of service. And like I said, it can, how your spiritual awakening happened, that's unique to you. Like I said, a serious illness from you or a loved one, passing of people in your lives that feel like a hole in your heart that can never be filled, which it can't be. The grief does not ever go away completely, but you can channel it into something else to help others, to let them know that their loved ones have survived so-called death, and they are alive, and they are whole, and they're happy, and they want us to have a good life. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself on this path? Or you have no choice. If you wake up thinking about the spirit realm and the mysteries of the universe and the origins of God, what happens when we pass, different spheres of consciousness in the spirit realm, mediumship, getting better with your readings. If you think about mediumship all the time, you're a medium. If you think about healing all the time, how to improve your healing capabilities, how to build a relationship with your healing guides, you're a healer. That's pretty much why I think most people awaken and start doing this work. When do you do it? You do it when you're ready. You do it when you are pulled to do it. A lot of people will start their development, and then like this self-healing thing, this mirror will pop up that you have to look at, and they'll retreat. Or they're doing classes, they're doing workshops, circles, and they're not getting it, and they retreat a bit because they're not getting the results as quickly as they need it. That's part of the frustrating part of this. When is really up to us in terms of when are we going to start our development? We're going to start it when we're feeling pushed to start it, right? And then you just have to show up. If you have a circle that you're going to, try to go every week. You're making an appointment with spirit, show up. Of course things happen. Of course you might not be feeling well. Of course you might have family obligations. That's fine. Spirit understands that. But don't not show up because you don't feel like you're good enough. Go and just be as tenacious as you possibly can with your development. Acquire knowledge. Start your self-healing. Look at your reactions. Learn how to sit in the quiet. Learn how to build your power. Learn when it's your time how to blend with spirit. And that has to do with your sensitivities, building your sensitivity. How to link with spirit, concentration. How to hold that link, to strengthen that link. All of this works together with your mediumship readings. You have to understand the mechanics of mediumship, but that you learn when you're ready. Okay, but show up. The spirit world is waiting for you. If you make an appointment with spirit at 1 p.m. in your time zone, show up because they're there waiting for you. Spirit always shows up when we show up. Spirit always shows up when you show up. Okay. They will never let you down, but you can let yourself down. I don't really feel that we can let spirit down. They know eventually they work with us, but they have all the time in the world. We as physical beings, as spiritual beings having a physical experience now, we don't have, in terms of the physical time, all the time in the world. We have our allotted amount of time. So use it well. Use your time here to progress, to evolve. Okay. If you have some planned practice sessions for mediumship readings, show up when you're supposed to. Be there. Okay. But when, in terms of when your abilities start to improve and when um, you're able to surrender to the spirit realm, all of these things are intertwined with your development. But that will all happen when it's supposed to happen. It won't happen when you feel you're ready. It'll happen when the spirit world thinks you're ready. You have to work at this. It's the easiest thing in the world, communicating with spirit, but it's really hard because it takes a quiet, harmonious, and even mind to do that. And this is not how we're bred as people. We're bred to be hyper aware of everything around us, for danger. It goes back through generations, ancestors, from living in caves and having mortal danger everywhere. So we're bred to be hyper aware. So it is sort of the antithesis of how we are as human beings, to be passive, to be still, to allow yourself to learn how to meditate. When you can learn how to meditate, and when you can learn to sit in the presence of your own spirit, and then in turn sit in the presence of the spirit realm and feel them and build your sensitivity, and just open yourself up to them and say, I surrender myself to you. But has to be when you're ready. So keep working at this. And when they deem you ready, then the floodgates will open. It's step by step by step by step by step. It has to be that way. It works slowly. A lot of you might have natural abilities, you might hear spirit all the time, but when you learn to control it, because it is an ability, you have to learn to train it, you have to strengthen it. All of that comes into the when. When does it happen for you? It happens when you're ready, when you're supposed to start this, when you're supposed to then move in to doing semi-professional, professional readings. But when that happens, that's up to them. You just have to stay ready. Stay ready by practicing, sitting in the quiet, learning how to calm your mind. You can never completely quiet your mind. So if people tell you meditation is like 100% lack of thinking, that's not the case. We will always have some activity in our conscious mind. There's no way not to. Because if you completely quieted your mind, you would be past. You'd be a past loved one. So you'd be a spirit communicator. So, but learn how to quiet your mind, to go into a state that's passive and receptive for the energies and power of the unseen realms. And then you will start to feel them when you are ready. So don't give up. A lot of people say, I tried meditation, but it didn't work for me. And I will ask, well, how long did you try? Well, I tried it once for 10 minutes. No, it takes sometimes years to get into this quiet state. I always think about one of my first tutors in the UK, and she told me, she's probably like, I don't know, 65, 70 now, um, that her first 2 years of a development circle were literally the circle leader lit a candle in the center of the circle, and they all just sat there and stared at the candle to quiet their minds for like 2 years. That Can you imagine charging people for a circle now and just lighting a candle and say, okay, just focus on the candle, and the circle leader leaves? People would want a refund. But it takes time. If you go back to the beginnings of modern spiritualism, they used to just sit. That's what they didn't have TV. They didn't have phones readily available. They didn't really have outside entertainment except reading and sitting together and sitting in home circles. Home circles, sometimes people would sit for years before they would move on to um, connecting with the spirit realm. First, you have to connect with your own spirit. Once you can do that, when you can touch the essence of your own spirit and relearn the language of your own spirit, then you can communicate with the spirit realm and your guides, and you can go directly to God and speak with God. Um, it, but you have to take the time. It's a very subjective thing. It happens when it's supposed to happen. So don't give up. Don't get impatient with it. If you start some circles or some classes and you have to pull away to do your own healing work, or if your daily life gets in the way, that's okay. Just go back to it. Okay, because a lot of times I find people start their development, and if this is like just the soil, and then the seeds are planted and they're starting to germinate and they're moving up slowly, slowly, slowly. And people say, nothing's happening, I'm not a medium, I'm not good at this, I'm gonna give up. And if they just would wait, then they would see the seeds start to sprout and break the soil, and that's when it starts to happen. But a lot of times your development, when you're starting, a lot happens below the surface. So you have to give this time. So when I leave that up to spirit, but what I guess I'm trying to say is I have to do the work while I'm waiting, right? So I have to keep my training going while I'm waiting for spirit to sort of say, him there in Germany, that American New York City boy living in Germany, now he can move on to the next level. But it levels itself up. It moves up as you go. So be really tenacious with it. Don't give up. Stick with it, and you'll see. For some of you who might be like natural mediums, meaning you don't have the training, and you go into training, and your clairvoyance is quite good, and then you start working on the other clairs, your clairvoyance will sometimes fade in the background a bit, so you can learn how to use your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your claircognizance, knowing, smelling, tasting, a lot of different clairs. And they'll say, well, spirit took my clairvoyance away. No, they didn't. They don't want you to completely rely on it. They want you to become a well-rounded vessel so you can communicate with spirit in the best possible way through 1, 2, 3, or 4 of your clairs, or all of your clairs a bit. We always have 2 or 3 clairs that are dominant, but we should be aware of what the spirit world is trying to do. This is part of the training. Okay, so when is very, like I said before, subjective. It happens when it's supposed to happen for you, but don't just sit there and wait and not do anything. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, keep practicing. Sit in your power. Build your power. Build the power of this eternal being of light that resides within each one of us. Build your power out. Become powerful. Your light, if you build your light properly, your light can fill the entire universe, and you can feel the life forces on our planet, all living beings, the earth itself. You build it out more, you can feel our solar system, galaxy, the universe. You can feel everything's alive. Everything has a life force. And if once you start to be able to blend with that, then you can start blending and learning about how to blend with the spirit realm and a spirit communicator. Okay, so that's the when. When, keep working at it, and then you'll know when. Okay, when, but also, trust the spirit realm. If certain classes are being put in front of you, or certain teachers, or circles, or books, or videos, just absorb all this information. Look, every class is not going to be right for everybody, right? But try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you find another class, then you find another teacher. But watch videos. You'll see the spirit world will work in a way. I find it rather fascinating. Videos will pop in your feed. People will start to suggest certain books for you to read. Just absorb all this information and all these spiritual teachings, and then that just adds to your foundation, right? And then your foundation becomes stable, and that's what you need. Okay, but when, do it, but just be patient with when it's going to happen, because that's the hardest part, is to learn how to be patient with this. How does this happen? How do you move from being a practicing student of mediumship, and actually at the end of the day, we're always students of mediumship and students of the spirit realm. How do you move from your circles, your classes, to practicing more with one-on-one sitters or gallery settings or semi-professional, professional level. What I've learned with the how is I don't think about the how anymore. I just have to be ready. Going back to the when, I just have to stay ready. How it's going to happen is up to spirit. I can't control this. I can't control freak my development and what's going to happen with my mediumship outside of how it's affecting me and how I'm working with spirit, but in the external world out there, right? So, how do you move from being a practicing medium to a professional medium? You practice, first of all, you practice, 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 practice. Sit in the presence of spirit and just ask them, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And you'll get information. You'll hear what they want you to do. Practice more. Work on this, Claire. Work on surrendering. And then just do that in your next practice sessions. Just work on what you're being told to work on. Right? So once you have the mechanics of mediumship down, then just work on your own mediumship and yourself in terms of not being so nervous. How do you not be nervous? You just have to have faith that you're not alone, and the spirit world always shows up when you show up, and they will help you, but you have to be open to it. Learn to control your anxiety. Learn to control your nerves, because this all affects you. You're putting in your aura, in your energy, all these blocks, and it makes the spirit world have to work even harder to get through. Can they get through? Yeah, they can get through anything, but I want to make it as clear and as pure as possible all around me and within me, so that they can work with me as easily as possible. Okay, so how then do you start getting clients? How then do you start building your business? That's up to spirit. I've learned a long time ago, and it's horribly frustrating. As long as I'm prepared and I'm well oiled in terms of my mechanism, my body, and my spirit and my mediumship, and I feel confident, they will work it out. What comes to me in terms of opportunities? How do I work with spirit? 100% of the time, half the time, they will work it out that I'm supported, that I can make some money. I listen. We all have to make money. It's part of the physical realm, but I really do feel that we need to keep our prices so it's accessible to everybody. That's me. That's just how I'm trained. So I always try to watch that. I want to make sure everyone's welcome. I want to always try to give back in open sessions when I can, doing videos when I can, doing meditations for open sessions when I can. I want to give back because anything that's given to me from spirit in terms of opportunity, I feel grateful for and want to pay forward, right? So how this happens, I don't even think about it anymore. I let it go. Spirit can dream a way better dream and way bigger dream than I can dream for myself, and they know where they need me. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. They know where they need to put me, that I can be of the best value for them, because that's the point of this. It's not up to what I want to do. I want to work with spirit. I know that. I want to be with spirit as much as I possibly can, because the more I'm with the spirit energy, the better I feel about myself. That's maybe a bit of a selfish reason, but it helps me because it helps me work more, and I believe work better. But they will work out where I need to be and what I need to do to help them in the best possible way that they see fit. But that being said, you have to be ready. So, do you have a website? Get a website. Whatever you want to call it, your own name, a pseudonym, whatever, a nice phrase, .com, whatever. Build it. Do you have a Facebook business page? Build that as well. Talk about things that mean something to you. Talk about your healing journey, what you've learned today about your mediumship, and you have to, I guess, you have to build these spaces so the spirit world can start channeling their power and energy to help you. But so it's sort of like if you're single And oh, I just want to meet Mr. Right. I just want to meet Mrs. Right. I'm single. I'm lonely. And I'll ask you, are you dating? Are you going out on dates or on a dating app? No, I'm just sitting home. It's like, well, can you at least maybe go outside, go open your front door and stand outside? Then maybe you'll meet somebody. But if you just sit there and you want things to start happening, but there's nowhere for the spirit realm to sort of channel and send their energy to help you, it kind of just, it starts to go in circles, then you spin and then nothing really happens. So of course you have to have goals about what you want to do, but that I find that's in terms of outlets. So build the website, get the Facebook business page up, and then just build it as you go. But you have to feel confident enough that when, how is it going to happen for you when that arrives, that you grab it, right? So a lot of times I find people, they'll want to practice and they're practicing and they want to move on to bringing in professional readings and talking about pricing and all that. And then they'll get a call from somebody or an email from somebody. Oh, so-and-so suggested I email you. I'd like a mediumship reading. And they'll be like, oh, I was terrified, so I said no. But that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted to happen. Why are you saying no out of fear? Just do it. Do it and charge very little, or don't charge and say, okay, I don't know if I'm quite ready to charge, so let me just do it. If you think it's good, send me the money. If you have a problem with taking money for this, though, I really will say that the amount of money that you're spending on your development, on classes, on workshops, on retreats, on books, it's a lot of money, right? So it costs money. So you have the right to charge for your time within reason. You don't want to charge so much that only the really rich people can come to you. But you want to charge enough that you feel good about sitting in that chair, about yourself and your abilities. And I do believe that helps, because you place value on yourself. But that's up to you. If you want to charge $10, charge $10. Doesn't matter. Just charge something. If you don't need the money, that's great. I think a lot of us, if this is our second career, or we're retired, or money's not a key issue because we're provided for, that's beautiful, because then you only have to really do things that you want to do with people that you want to work with, but then charge and donate the money to a charity, to an organization, whatever. But I think that you have to always be open to the possibility, stay open to what's coming at you. If someone wants to interview you for a podcast, to talk about the spirit world and mediumship, do it. Is it terrifying and is it scary? Yeah, of course it is. But if you do it, then the second one's easier. If you want to start a circle and people are talking to you about, oh, we're looking for a new circle, there needs to be better circles out there, and you're feeling drawn to start it, that's the spirit world working out how this is going to happen for you. Just do it. Really, what's the worst that can happen? Way worse in here, and the scenarios that you're coming up with, in terms of getting out there, than in actuality what will happen. So how is a few different things, like I said, how is really up to the spirit world. That they put you where they need you, and they send signposts to you that you're supposed to grab onto, because that one thing will lead to other things. That one reading, which will go well, you're going to be fabulous. That one reading can lead to 5 other readings, and those 5 readings can lead to 10 other readings, because people talk. People always want good mediums, and the best the promotion is word of mouth. Oh, I just sat with the most amazing medium. You should call him. You should call her. But you have to be open to it. So don't shut yourself down. I'm not ready. Yeah, but the spirit world is telling you you're ready. If you're thinking about teaching, the spirit world will let you know that you should be teaching and when you're ready to teach. So if you think teaching is where you want to go, just look at other teachers, watch other teachers, and see what sort of teacher you want to be. And a lot of times look at other teachers and see what sort of teacher you don't want to be. Important. I would like to help as many people as possible. Just keep putting that out there, and you'll see people will start coming. Do you do mentorships? Do you teach classes? But if always in your mind, of course you have to be ready to teach, but you'll know. You'll know. Usually if people start coming to you, the spirit world is sort of tapping you and saying, go teach. Know your subjects, know what you're talking about, obviously. If things you don't know, say I don't know. But if the power starts to build behind you as a teacher, grab it. If someone's coming and asking you for a one-on-one teaching session, which I think is a good place to start, don't let this kick on and say, oh, I'm not ready. I don't know enough. In a way, we're never going to know enough, but we know enough at least to teach beginners. We need way more good beginner teachers who can work with people coming in to this and do unfoldment classes. So, but you have to be open to it. So, I mean, the why, when, and hows of this are many, but it's really, why are you doing this? You have to be honest. Why are you doing this? It really should be to help. When is really about your training and keeping an open mind to what's being brought to you in terms of teachers, practice sessions, practice partners, things like that. And how, just realize the spirit world will let you know how it's supposed to go and where you're supposed to end up. Not up to you. It's up to the spirit world. So I think we need to really take all of our wants and all of our needs and sort of push them aside and really just listen to what the spirit world wants and needs from us. And it's really, really, they will explain to us where they need us to be, then they'll show us where we need to be. Because the point is really, okay, if I'm giving all this time, if I'm really working this hard, I want to make sure I help as many people as I possibly can, even if it's just putting a little seed in their head, and then that has to germinate on its own and teach them patience and how this takes time. But listen to yourself and listen to the spirit realm, and they will take you where you're supposed to be through all of these why, whens, and hows. They'll figure it out for you. As long as you're there, you're ready, and you stay open. And don't let fear block you. Don't let fear kind of block these opportunities from coming. Say yes. I've said this to a few people, and I'm trying to do this as well. Is I want to make 2024 the year of saying yes to things that resonate with me. You can't say yes to everything, but to things that resonate with me and sort of make my spirit, my soul, sort of start to expand and get excited. That's where I really want to be. And I think we will always have a little bit of nerves with this. I think it's fine because you want to do a good job for spirit, and you want to do a good job for your sitter, for your students. But don't let nerves turn into anxiety, because that's really when it becomes a lot harder for the spirit world to get through. Okay. So anyway, I hope that helps. And I wish everyone a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Bye.